Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Pretty Prints and Paper, and I am here today to talk quickly about one of my favorite spreads or favorite things to do, which is prepare for travel. And I'll be doing this today in my lists and collections notebook, which is a May Designs classic size notebook, which is about 8 by 5, inside of my Foxy. So this is the Amethyst Moccasin. I do a little bit of a review in one of my previous videos if you want to check that out, but it's their soft leather, and I have it in a compact size 7 cover, which fits perfectly 3 to 4 May Designs notebooks, which I have as my bullet journal. So check out my other video if you want to see a little bit more detail on that. But inside, I am planning for a trip that I am taking with my brother. We're visiting our family in California, and it's at the end of this year, and I don't know about you, but 2016 has been crazy. It's been hard. It's been great in other ways, but really difficult in others. So we are like, peace out, let's go. We live in Minnesota, so we're looking for a place to be warm. 65 is going to be warm for us. So we are planning on leaving soon. And when I think about traveling, I'm a casual traveler. I like to really experience a place and have some things nailed down so that I can be intentional with some of the things I want to see, but I also want to leave a lot of room for flexibility, for what it is I'm feeling in that moment, for seeing something that pops up on the corner of the street and you're like, oh, I want to explore that. So like my usual planning routine, I have some things nailed down, but it's mostly just a loose categorized chaos, and then everything else will flow from there. So this spread will be similar. I have split it up into however many days we're going to be there and started to jot down some things that I do know, which means the day that I'm flying in, I'll add details here. A lot of times I have that stuff in my phone, and so I don't really feel the need to write it all down, which saves some of the clutter on the page. And then I also added things like I know that we are driving partway through, and so what day are we driving? That's going to be that day. And then other things that we're booking tickets for. So if there's anything I need to book or reserve, I add that in there. We're going to the Chainsmokers concert, and I'm so pumped for that, mostly to dance. And then on the other side, there's some other things. So more of the technical stuff, there's stuff you got to book. So planes, hotels, cars. And you can do what I'm doing, which is just naming it really generically as a task. I usually have all that information somewhere else, which is on my phone or in my email, so I don't necessarily write it all down here. You might choose to, have a whole section just for details if you're researching and things like that. I usually don't do that. And then I start a packing list for things that are outside of the usual. So I already know I'm going to pack like underwear and my charger and stuff, but what are the things that might be specific to this trip? So things like my backpack, because we might go hiking, and my cousin wants to see my passion planner, so I'm going to bring that. And then lastly, the column says prep, which means all the things that I have to get ready here to get prepared for taking this trip, including things like parking my car, where does that go, or rides and things like that, things I have to take care of. The last section you've seen when I planned my trip to Boston is just a list of things that I'm brainstorming to do. And this can be anything from, I know that I want to do some hiking or kayaking in La Jolla. I want to read. I want to visit my aunt, make sure that I see her, spend time with her. I want to see if I can get some workouts in. These are just things that I'm rolling off the top of my head, and I've been to these places before, so this list is going to be quite small and much more casual than if I was to sightsee a place for the first time. So this allows me to brainstorm and brain dump all of the things that come up as suggestions from friends, or I do some research and I think, oh, that's kind of cool, and then I list it out. And then as we go and more things become clear, or I work more with my brother to see what he's feeling, I plug them in to the days and start to organize some activities per day. Something else that I usually do as well is I will draw a little map of the location that we're going to be in. I did this with my Boston trip, so I etched out a little map of all the different neighborhoods that there were so that I could match some of the activities and neighborhoods to the map, and then better organize like the flow of the day so that I wasn't driving or walking back and forth over and over again to get to various places, and plan a streamlined schedule based on some of those activities. Some of the things that I'll be adding on here are things like, food stops and other things like that. But I generally like to keep it low key. I just like to have a couple of the details written down. And when I go on vacation, I tend to leave my formal bullet journal aside. I don't use it in the ways I normally use it week to week because tasks just aren't a thing when I'm on vacation. And so what I will do is I'll bring this, because this kind of becomes a log or a journal, and I letter and add things in as we decide to do them, and it becomes a log of what we've done. And what I will do is have a list ready, because what happens on that last day when I'm about to get home is all of a sudden my brain will go, oh shit, you have to do this, that, and the other thing when you get home. And so I have some space dedicated to that when that inevitably arises, so that I can at least get those things out of my head and onto paper. So that's kind of what I do. I also keep track of the budget along the way, so every day I can kind of jot down what it is that I'm spending money on and keep that as a log of staying below budget and planning for how I spend my money. That's all I got for you, friends. I know that for international trips, I get much more intense. I have spreadsheets, there's more research done. It can't be really contained in 2 pages, and knowing that there's just so much to explore internationally and maybe in other places that I've never been to before, that gets a little more intensive. And so maybe my next international trip, I will do another one of these videos and see what the difference is. But I would love to hear what your tips are down below, because I'm always looking for ways to make travel a little more fun, a little more budget friendly, things like that. Or if you have tips as to places that you suggest that I see when I'm in San Diego or Los Angeles, you let me know. If you like it, love it, share it, whatever, I just hope that you enjoy it. I'll see you next time. Bye.